If you're playing Mercenary and want a hammer build that can help you survive, do burst damage, but also dictate the battle when playing in trios, then this is the build you should be using. I'll show you the exact skills, talents, and gear while also giving you an example of what the gameplay looks like. Let's dive into the skills. First off, you're going to want Earthshaker. It's a strong area of effect ability that gives you a lot of crowd control and works extremely well in confined spaces. You will see people panic when you start charging it up, not to mention you can also control and close off choke points while using it. And when you do land it, you will knock people down. The second skill you're going to pick is Skull Crusher, and this is where your burst damage lies, not to mention it gives you a bit of movement. But when this connects, expect a ton of burst damage that will have your opponents running to go and heal. The range on this is actually quite substantial. If you turn fast enough, you can turn and snap on someone at a moment's notice, so don't forget that. Now, something that's a part of the base kit that is very important is Assault Hammer. That's your right click, and this will be your bread and butter for closing up distances. Be it that you're on the chase to finish off a kill, or that you turn around to help a buddy out. The skills themselves are great, but what makes them excellent are the talents you choose. And you're going to start off with Resilient Body and Indomitable Will. Both of these will help you survive as they'll increase your defenses by getting stacks of Indomitable Will. That happens in two ways, by using a charge type skill or by getting hit. I'll be showing you later how you can take advantage of the charging ability as well to stack before you even get into a battle. From there, you'll be taking all 3 points in Hammer Weapon Mastery. That includes Hammer of Convergence, Unstoppable, and Relentless Advance. This will further improve your survivability when it comes to using a charge type skill. It will allow you to do clashes without any repercussions of losing energy. But most importantly, Relentless Advance will give you the mobility you need to make sure you're landing your charge style hits. Because that's what's going to allow you to move and dodge while using your charging Power Hammer or Punishing Hammer. Being allowed to dodge up to 2 times while in the charging state is exactly why the next talent we're going to take is Leap Step. It allows just that while charging up Earthshaker. That's also why you're going to take Dynamic Charge, as that allows you to do the same with Skull Crusher, and then the final talent point goes to Ironclad Body, which will give Skull Crusher on level 1 Super Armor. As a hammer player, you deal an insane amount of burst, so what matters most is making sure you can actually land your burst. That's why the talents chosen are specifically about making sure you can land stuff and making sure you can survive while doing so. Now here's a quick tip to get stacks of Indomitable Will before you actually get into battle. As you know, when you charge up you get 2 stacks, but did you know that you can cancel it and then charge it up again to get another 2 stacks? In fact, you can do this repeatedly all the way till you're maxed out to 10 stacks before you even get into a fight. So if you want the best chance of survivability, make sure you're doing this before you head in. If you're finding the video helpful so far, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Now, let's take a look at the gear you should equip and the fixes needed. We're going to start off by taking a look at 2 blue builds. For your convenience, the import codes will be in the description below. To bring them into your game, simply hit E while at the campsite, go to Manage and Import, and then you paste the code. The first gear setup revolves around making sure you have level 5 Aegis, Brotherhood, and Valor. These are 3 important skills for damage output and survivability while also having 1 point in Focused. With level 3 wine, you'll be able to max out the first 3. Aegis is important for straight up defense, Brotherhood is fantastic if you're playing in trios with friends, and Valor is all about your burst damage output. Now if you're playing solo, I do have a different blue build and that revolves around Focused rather than Brotherhood. Brotherhood's bonuses do still apply in solos just for yourself, but I prefer Focused in that situation. What it does is make sure that you can get your charge ups as fast as possible. It significantly reduces the charge time to get things into level 2 state. And this can feel extremely oppressive by your opponents if they're not expecting it. Moving on to purple gear, we have a build that has maxed out Valor, Aegis, Stoic, Strife, and level 4 Focused. You will need to use God's Brew, so that's level 4 wine to achieve this, but it'll give you insane defense, insane attack damage, and you'll still have some good charge time. Now let's take a quick look at some gameplay. Here, I'm charging up Earthshaker because everyone's grouped up and they need to react to it to avoid it. I'll pursue the Sorcerer, see that they get hit, know they're gonna dash away, so I immediately charge Skull Crusher. Rogue's low, easy guaranteed hit since they're mid-combo with Skull Crusher. Turning around, I can see that the mage just used the dodged and is heading my direction to avoid the Withered Knight, so I'll charge an Earthshaker because once again, it's a 360-degree field, so it's kind of hard to avoid. I try to cut the mage off, they dodge backward, I charge Skull Crusher and follow up. When they try and avoid my dodge, I'm able to actually turn around and still land it. I'm able to secure the kill with Earthshaker and have the added benefit of knocking down the Mercenary trying to help an ally out. Now let's take a look at another fight, one with a lot more back and forth and more cautious enemies. I do want to point out specifically that when two super armor attacks collide, you'll both get stunned and no one will take damage. It'll happen a couple more times in this video, and it's a great way to save yourself from taking hits but also leaving an enemy in a vulnerable position. Once I saw the seer was trying to do a ranged attack, I decided to apply some pressure to make sure they couldn't keep it up. As you can see, super armor also nullifies their push attack. When you see enemies bunched up like this or struggling to get through anywhere, Skull Crusher will deal a massive amount of damage to everyone. Up next, I heal up just to make sure I'm healthy. I take a look around, see that the Mercenary's behind us, charge up Earthshaker, and make sure he stays there. The seer decides to push me, maybe to help his ally, and I back up to heal up once again. Here, I charge up Skull Crusher, see that the Mercenary's behind us, but truthfully, if I would have timed this better, he would have went down right there. Instead, what ends up happening is that there's a bit of a reset. I'm in danger, so I fall back, and I'm luckily able to sneak through the Sorcerer who was behind us, I heal up, and then we continue the fight. Here, you'll see a perfect example of a super armored clash actually benefiting me. I'll charge forward, and you'll immediately see that the Mercenary was ready and charged to use their Earthshaker. As such, I react by pressing mine, and you'll see another clash happen. We both get stunned, nobody gets hurt. I immediately hear a heartbeat, so I start checking my surroundings. I see that her Sorcerer is being pushed, so I actually back off and circle around as I can see they're running. I preemptively charge an Earthshaker knowing that they're going to be chased. I pursue, I get hurt here, so I decide to back off and heal up once again. I can see that the team's committed though, so I want to get back as soon as possible. I use my right click to do so. I jump on the Sorcerer, they dash and hit me with a wall, and while I have my Earthshaker charged, I realize that I can't get through, so I decide to look around and see where I can use it elsewhere. And while I did whiff on the main target, it happened to hit and knock down another player who was going into combat. Sadly, I whiff Skull Crusher, so I decide to give chase to the low HP Mercenary. Here, we'll have yet another super clash to the benefit of no one, but following that I think you see the perfect example of just how much range Skull Crusher can have. I'm telling you, it catches a lot of people off guard and people misjudge it all the time. After another clash, I try to give chase with the right click but end up getting myself stuck on the environment, which sucks. One teammate does go down, which is a scary position to be in at any time. Thankfully, we know that everyone's kind of low. And since we're back into a confined space, Earthshaker is once again your best friend. Yet another clash happens here, but since Earthshaker hits 360 degree around us, it's still able to pick up the Sorcerer, and we're able to finish the Mercenary off. All in all, an extremely fun fight with a lot of back and forth. Hammer's extremely fun to play, especially if you like landing big bonks. And it's also important to make sure you take advantage of the super armor as much as possible. You can see just how strong it is in this video. And with that, we've wrapped up this guide. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. You want more like it, subscribe to not miss out. This is my first guide type video. Let me know your feedback down in the comments section below. This has been Cruiser Base, and until next time, stay informed, skip the filler, and keep gaming.